Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another cast by Stitch StarCraft. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys another 1v1, and this can be considered a Southeast Asia vs World, but our Southeast Asian player is a very good friend of our community, but he himself is actually from Korea, and he is actually the red Protoss over here. And if I'm going to read my Korean right, it's Labu-ba. Okay, I cannot read that, but his name is Balloon, and he's from Team SPR, and that is my former team, and he's also from the Korean clan Love. That explains the Labu, and I think that is Bangsan. So do correct me if I'm wrong. I'm still trying to learn my Korean characters, but once again I'm going to be bringing you guys Love Balloon, and he is going to be against the blue Terran. He is LabyRinth or LabyRinth. Well, however he capitalizes that, I'm gonna call him Labyrinth. But anyways, yeah, I've actually seen this name before. I'm not really I don't really remember who he is. But if you guys can help me, and you guys know who this player is, maybe he's a Smurf or something, then please help me out, because I have no idea who he is. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Balloon himself is a Korean Grandmasters, and as all of you guys know, Korea is one of the hardest servers to get Grandmasters. Actually, the hardest, because you've got the world's best. You got all those GSL players, very experienced players on the ladder. Playing on Korean ladder is just so much more different. The atmosphere is a lot more stressful, so it's definitely not easy to get into Grandmasters. So kudos to Balloon, and I'm pretty sure that Labyrinth is either very high Masters or in Grandmaster himself. So this is going to be a Grandmasters TVP, and it's going to be a very cool match. It is on Entombed Valley. This is the ladder version, I believe. Nothing too special. Both players just taking on in a 1v1 on Korean ladder. Stressful as always. Both players are probably sweating already. But if we take a look back at the build, we do have Labyrinth starting off with a 1 Rex expand. Balloon did try to deny it just a bit, and right now Balloon does have 2 gas, and this is really interesting. With 2 gas, you usually open up with 1 gate, 1 robo, but since Balloon did scout that our Terran player went for a gasless expand, he most likely will not do that. And oh, check this out, we've got a hidden pylon over here, and this can mean a lot of things. This can mean a Twilight Council putting down into Blink Stalkers, or Twilight Council into DT Shrine, or even a Stargate. 2 gas just means so much. And now we also have Labyrinth over here scouting, and Balloon, he actually cancels this pylon, and that's a very interesting move. I mean, this is a complete mind game that Balloon's playing, because putting down that pylon, the Terran would think, oh, you're gonna hide some tech over here, so if I scan, I'll probably scan back here. But check this out, instead he's going to be putting down a Stargate over here, and this is going to be a very nice little push over here. But then check this out, SEV is gonna come along, and it's gonna see the probe. Oh man, this is bad. This is bad. And now check this out. The Terran he knows what's happening. He sees the Stargate, and he's gonna react right now as he does put down a bunker and a factory. Actually, check this out. The Terran's actually going 1-1-1 behind this, and this is a very interesting sort of reaction. This can be very beneficial. He's putting down another barrack. If he can get a starport out, and he can get Vikings, he can easily deny the Void Ray, because Vikings do outrange the Void Ray, and it's very important that you do have good micro to take out those Voids, because without that high vision, it's going to be a lot harder for the Protoss to warp in units or any sort of thing like that. And check this out, right now Balloon putting down a pylon at the lower ground, and actually the 3-gate Stargate play has kind of died down for a while. I mean, not a lot of players still use it, but certainly there are players who use it, just not that often, because now that maps are getting more macro based, it's just not that common you see that. But we do have the Void Ray coming in here and going to try to snipe off this supply depot, and he can actually get it. It's charged, and it can actually do some, wow, actually quite a lot of damage. The supply depot is on fire, and oh man, the supply depot on 20 HP. But do note the bunker is completely empty, and now Balloon is gonna move up, and on the low ground, here comes the engagement. There's no way the Marines can attack this, but siege tanks are out, and this is actually pretty interesting. Our Terran player is going for siege tanks, and that's going to be very interesting as here comes the battle, and the siege tank does get focus fire down. A lot of Marines in here. The SCV is taking a lot of damage and actually taking out quite a lot of Stalkers. One Void Ray does fall, but looks like this gets cleaned up, but the Stalkers do get cleaned up, and there's nothing on the ground right now going for our Protoss player. Now this Void Ray has to pull back as 3 Marines are getting pumped consecutively. We do have 3 Zealots warping in on the high ground. SCV's focusing down that pylon, but they need to come back for these Zealots as these Zealots chase after the tank. Will they be able to get it? The Zealots actually going for the SCVs now, not killing that many SCVs. 10 SCVs now. A bit of damage, but not enough to end the game. And right now, a push like this really needs to end the game as the Void Ray, another Void Ray gets sniped out for Balloon, and this is looking worse and worse because he needs to keep these Void Rays alive. They cost so much. It's such a big investment. You absolutely have to. We do have 2 Stalkers being warped over here at the start gate, and we did have that pylon getting taken out, and this proxy pylon does not have the high vision, which it really needs, but looks like another supply depot might get sniped out over here, and that's going to be pretty unfortunate. See the supply cap, our Terran player actually puts down 2 supply depots, but now with the tank sieged, there's absolutely no way that our Protoss player can push up the ramp because it's just too big of a commitment, and all he can do right now is just poke in and try to snipe out some Marines, but it's not easy because Void Rays do take a while to kill off light units like Marines. And here comes the Void Ray again. Oh my goodness, another Void Ray getting lost over there. Balloon has to be so careful like this. He just has to be ridiculously careful because these Void Rays, I mean, obviously they do have range and they do have shields, but they're actually really fragile to high DPS units like the Marines because they just absolutely fire away off the shields. And here comes a Void Ray again, might get some damage off its shields, but it has to be really careful. Our Terran player now putting down a starport behind this, and this is going to be great. He's going to have medevacs, and he's going to have Vikings to deal with this Void Ray count, and that's going to be so good for him. And with these Void Rays out, he can definitely push. And these Void Rays just continuing to apply this pressure. Now the siege tank going to siege in range of the Stalkers, and Balloon needs to save these Stalkers. Does not want to lose a single unit over there. He already lost actually a lot of units. If we take a lost units count, he's lost 2,500 resources. That's quite a lot, man. That's really a lot because especially when you're all inning like this at the early game, it's really hard to come back if you don't end the game quick. It's really important that you go end the game absolutely immediately. And I mean, for you guys watching right now, you might think, oh, why is Balloon not attempting to go behind the mineral line to attack? Because the sole reason is behind the mineral line you actually don't have much space to attack on this map. It's actually pretty inconvenient for attacks like this Void Ray. So honestly, all you can do is hit the ramp and maybe the sides, but it's just not happening with this bunker down. And now actually Balloon is going to be putting down 2 sentries over here, and this is going to be nice because he's going to try to attempt to trap the Terran when he tries to come down, but the Terran's army is growing bigger and bigger. He's on 41 supply and Balloon on 22. Looks like the Terran wants to move out right now, and is he going to make the move? We'll just see. Here he comes, and Balloon, where's the force fields, man? Oh, that was a bad force field. Leaves a gap, and all the Marines are able to squish through. And now LabyRinth can pull down his command center, and he can start expanding. As Balloon just got his expand, and he's really behind in tech, I have to say, because solely because his all-in just failed, and it's really hard to come back. I cannot emphasize how hard it is to come back in a position like this, where your opponent literally does not lose that many SCVs. And he's able to build up a very big army already. And honestly, right now, I'm really surprised that LabyRinth is not going for the push because he's got such a big army. If we take a look at the army count, once again, 46 to 28. He's got pretty much a 20 supply lead. And taking a look at the unit composition, I have to say LabyRinth is hugely favored. He's got a Viking, he's got medevacs, he's got a lot of Marines, and he's got tanks to deal with all these Stalkers. And there's absolutely nothing to deal with the tanks. If you look at this, we don't even have a Robo, but we do have a Dark Shrine wherever you are. We do have a Dark Shrine. And check this out, we still have the proxy pylon and a probe on the high ground. This is going to be so good for the attack if the TTs come out in time, but right now Balloon has to really focus on holding this off as LabyRinth wants to push, and here comes Balloon. He needs to force field this, but the force fields won't do much with the tanks sieging on the ramp. Absolutely, sentries will not have enough range, and now the Viking going to try to get these warriors, and actually, oh, the Vikings get sniped. Not a good play over there. And Balloon warping DTs, man. You need to do damage right now to distract the Terran player. But the probes being pulled off in advance. Very smart over there. But now LabyRinth has the opener to attack the natural of Balloon. And this can be so bad if it gets sniped out. If it gets sniped out, it's going to be absolutely terrible. But DT's coming in over here for Balloon into the natural. Going to start sniping these SCVs. And LabyRinth, oh no, man. Oh no, you need to deal with this. Even in the main now, nothing to deal with. The engineering bay just coming up. Is there a scan? Yes, there is, but only one Marine in the mix. Nice surround on the DT. Is able to take it out, and the second DT does escape now. And now the Terran is forced to pull back. And that's very unfortunate. And actually, the Protoss did lose his Nexus. Now rebuilding it. Now he's going to push out. And oh no, more DTs coming in here. And there is still one scan. And almost a second scan. But will he save this command center? Lift, I say. But looks like the DT does get sniped. And now also the proxy pylon will get sniped as well. And actually, Balloon looks like he's pushing, which is not a good idea. I mean, wow, 66 supply to 32. Our Terran player has double the supply of our Protoss, and that's a very, very bad sign. Our Terran also already putting down a third command center. Where are you? Over here. And another DT coming into the main. SCVs. Where are the SCVs? Wow, did he actually lose that many SCVs? Oh my goodness, it looks like, actually, hold that thought. Protoss player just tried to push up, not worth it, lost a few units. If we take a look at the lost workers killed, 25, wow, a plus 15 SCV worker kill over there for the Dark Templar, so they actually paid off very, very well. Surprisingly, our Terran player was not able to react to that as cost efficiently as he could, so now he's gonna have to rebuild all these SCVs, but with 3 command centers it should be no problem for it to play catch up right now. And 4 Void Rays starting to move out over here, and our Terran player, and actually these Void Rays are going to snipe a few SCVs, and that's really nice. Marines do stim it, come in here. Will they be able to catch off a Void Ray? Oh, not even one. And these Void Rays do have the extra range, and that's really nice. And yeah, really nice push over here, Balloon. Really just forcing this pressure, and this is really important because it's buying him time right now to get back that macro advantage. And check this out, we have high Templars coming, Storm being researched, and that's very, very important, especially when you know that your opponent is going such a huge Marine number. It's very important to use Storms, because the thing is, right now our Protoss player is playing catch up, and all you can really do is to just hope that your Storms do so much damage and clean the bio. Because right now, look at this, our Protoss player really has nothing. He's got all these Void Rays, but the Void Rays are pretty much useless if there's this high of a Marine count. So the Storms will really, really come in play. But our Protoss player is also putting down his third right now, and he just scouts the push coming in. And this push has to do damage coming from LabyRinth. He has to either end the game immediately, but Storm is finished and Charge is on the way, and here comes the Marines. The Zealots are spread. Oh my god, a very nice Storm over there, killing every single Marine. And that is a beautiful, beautiful play over there by Balloon. The most clutch Storms of the game. Absolutely changed everything. And now these Void Rays are going to chase the medevacs all the way back home. The medevacs are already low but full on energy. And wow, check this out. Our supply count just changed completely as the Protoss takes a 30 supply count lead, and the army supply count lead as well. And here comes the Void Rays. Not going to do much. There are siege tanks, so he has to be really careful. Charge is not finished, and this is not a very smart move coming for our Protoss player. But he is sniping a lot of these Marines, and that's going to be good in the long run for the Void Rays. But with the medevacs out, it's just not going to happen. and actually a very bad decision coming down for our Protoss player. A lot of units being lost here, and just really not worth that push. That's the thing. I mean, whenever you win a fight, you have to be really careful. Should I push? Because once again, you're attacking into enemy territory, and they can reinforce a lot faster than you. Considering the fact that Balloon also does not have a proxy pylon for him right now, so it's going to be a lot harder for him to warp in. But once again, what's going well for him is he is ahead in harvesters. He's ahead by 12, and that's going to be really good. And I actually expected him to attack the third because it's quite open, and these siege tanks are quite stuck at where they are. They just cannot unsiege, and there's just not that high of a siege tank count for them to be mobile and move around. But here we have it. We have the proxy pylon coming down for Balloon, and he looks like he wants to apply some pressure now. Now that he's got this tech and he's got this mining for him, he's gonna look very good. And check this out. We do have the upgrades coming in finally for our Protoss player, a bit late. And checking out our Terran player, he's got the +1 and +1 armor as well. So actually both players are fairly late on upgrades due to the fact that the early pressure was just so much. But here comes Balloon once again, wants to wipe this out. Siege tanks are on siege, and a very nice storm over there, getting a lot of hits on its own zealots. But now Protoss player on a nice choke, and he can clean this up fairly well. Wants to pull back to the missile turret to do damage for the Voidways, but a lot of damage being dealt over here by our Protoss player, and these Archons are just getting to work. And now our Protoss player has a free entrance to the natural, as these Marines and Mirage just cannot push down, and these SCVs going to get wiped out as well. And this push looks really promising coming for our Protoss player, and it actually might get sniped out. And the Void Rays, do they have charge? Oh! The orbital does fall, and now the Marine and Mirage are forced to retreat into the main, and this is bad because these Zealots are starting to push their way up, and these Void Rays having a lot of free hits. And wow, this looks really bad for our Terran player. I just don't see how he's going to come back from this. A lot of Zealots inside the main. Production just not enough for LabyRinth, and this can possibly be GG. And there it is. He leaves the game without even GGing. Probably a very frustrating game for him, but that is it seems like. So that was a very interesting game, I would say, coming down for all for both of these players. I was really surprised that Balloon was actually able to come back from his all-in. I mean, he just lost so many units at the start, and actually coming back from that is really hard. So ladies and gentlemen, props to him, man. He did really well, came back into this game, and he was able to take LabyRinth, even though LabyRinth had a very good opportunity to take it over. I really think that the key thing is that Balloon was able to make those Dark Templars, which did so much economic damage that LabyRinth could not support his pushing force. And see you guys next time. That's it for today, and I'll see you guys in the next cast.